All right, now let's have a look how we can stack up our traffic light frames on top of our sidearm. So we can start with the pedestrian lights, because I see that the side support arm typically would have, like in here, it typically would have pedestrian lights. Okay, we'll start with the green on the bottom, then red on top. Could be 2, or sometimes we could have even 3 here. This on top will be the amber light. We can reuse it from the car. And you can see they are, later on we'll also give them rotation per each piece. You can see it's really cool that they can be rotated individually. Okay. So let's have a look what we have here. Let's get back to our frame. As you can see, there's those pedestrian LED lights. They've been repositioned, and that's happening because remember we did this restore transform operation with Xform, right? When we were dealing with the side arm, because we wanted to have this hole in the center of our grid, right? So we did this. So we have to fix something here. Say it was a restore transform. Because our LED lights is relying on this LED container to feed our lights inside of the container that we made. This is the one. Right, so we are fitting the lights here. And this is what creates this mismatch, because our LED light container is still sitting where it used to be before our restore transform. So what we need to do is find our initial LED container. So let's have a look. So this is our LED container. So let's grab this null. And we're gonna take this restore transform, right, and plug into out LED container. And we're gonna split this container, because we grouped it as well, so it should be easy to split. LED container. Okay. So we go from this to this. This container also now been moved. And let's see if it fixes our issue. There you go, it does. So now everything is centered like before. Okay, awesome. So let's now move on to stack up our frames. I'm gonna pull them out from object merge. Remember, we call them out pedestrian traffic light green. That'll be our first one. Okay, that will be the first one. And then we need to put it on our side pole, right? So this is our side pole, remember, we made. So you remember we did some extrusions as well along the way, but what we are really interested in is this piece here that we're going to put the bottom of our frame onto this ring, right? This is where it starts to, so we sort of like, imagine take our traffic light frame, we impale it onto this stick, it slides down, and then it hits the bottom here on this ring, right? And doesn't go any further down. So we need to branch out from, most likely it's from, yeah, from here, basically. This is the bottom piece. We need to match the bottom of frame to bottom of this pole. Just put some sort of color on it, easily located. And let's do match size then. In our match size, we're not really interested in matching X and Z, so we can say none. It stay the same. We're just interested in Y, so we'd say minimum to minimum, right? Which sits like at the bottom of this. Okay, awesome. Now let's continue. Let's say we can say maybe impale green. Sounds a bit savage, but that'll do. Okay, impale green. Our red. So then we can reuse the same match size. So now remember, we need to now put the red one on top of the green one, right? So we take this green, put it here, and the red goes on top, which is max. We have green, and then we have red on top of green. Let's pull out the amber. Okay, the same idea. Cool, now let's merge everything together. So we have it like this, stacking on top of each other. Okay, good. Let's group it. So traffic lights, pedestrians. I also noticed like we have these speakers on all of the traffic light, and on our reference, I think it's only on the bottom. Yeah, you see it's on the bottom traffic light, not on all of them. So what we can do is just find our speaker. Where is it? Is the one, right? Speaker. Let's group it. We come back here and then we say, let's split the speaker. So we say invert selection. Stick it in here. And we can just keep it, like, say, only for the green lights, okay? I'll keep it for the green, okay. All right. Now we will take care of our rotations. And also we will need to move our traffic light boxes along with the sidearm. So let's see how we can do that. So before we make a move, let's merge our light support with this. Have this. And then we can reuse the same match size. That basically positions our traffic light frames onto the right spot. And after that, if we want to take care of the rotation, we need to split our frames first. Okay, we split them. Now let's visualize all this. So make a little test again. Sure it's moving as it should. Okay. Now my traffic lights are moving. Good. So let's see how we go about rotations. If I were to put rotations in here, let's say drop transform, see what happens. Right, and say I want to rotate it like that. You see it's misaligned now with my pole, and the reason it's happening is because if we look at the match size, right? And then let's enable our lights as well. Like you see what's happening here. This blue box represents our sliding plate, right, that we use. And now it's using the bounding box of this plate and also the bounding box of our pole and traffic lights to align them together, right? So it's aligning with match size, it's aligning center to center in Z axis, okay? And it's actually taking like bounding box and aligns the middle piece with this middle piece, right? So, and that's why it's looking like that. So what we need to do is to make the rotation after our matched size. This way, we will already be doing the rotation after it placed the pole on the plate. I hope you understood what I just said. And we would have to take this transform and do it after our match size. So let's put it here. Now let's visualize with our side pole. So now we're having another issue, which is it's like completely out of my pole. Okay, let's see why is it happening. If we go to transform, you can see that my pivot is at the center of the grid. Okay, so we need to find a way. So it's rotating the traffic lights around the center of the grid. And of course, the more I rotate it, the more it will displace my frames from the pole, okay? We need to find a way to put our pivot like right inside at the center of these holes, right? So how can we do it? Well, one way is to go back to where we started to build our side pole here, right? Let's disable this. Go back. So this is our initial pole, right? So what we can do for now is to group it. Let's say, let's give it a name. You can call it whatever, something with pivot. Pivot pole, let's say. Like that. So now Houdini will remember this grouping and will also remember that we did the match size so that we moved this pole in space, but it still keeps this group, okay? So now if I were to split this group, let's see, we can basically catch this one here. And say we do another split. We say split pivot pole. Let's find it. Okay. Now it splits this pole in a new position on the coordinates, right? So now what we can do Let's give it a name. Say rotate pivot. And transform, let's go to pivot rotate. No, well, we can do pivot translate actually. And we can tell the pivot to look up our rotate pivot pole, right? Look it up and use the centroid function to basically place our pivot right in the center of this pole. And that will help us with the rotations, okay? So we will say in here, centroid. So a quotation mark, and then we will look for a rotate pivot, okay? We'll look for it, and we say place it in the center of dx. Okay, so now it placed it in the center of this pole, and we can do the same, pretty much repeat for z-axis as well. And then in y, we can just say, let's place it in the center, like so. Okay, so now let's check it out. If I was to do my rotation here, yeah, it's rotating now around the pole. This is what we want, right? Good. I would say like we put at 90 for now. 0, whatever. Okay. So this is gonna be our rotate, let's say overall. And we would also like to be able to rotate our light boxes individually, right? So we can also split it again. So let's do split. So let's start with green. Pedestrian light green. And then we can reuse the same transform. So now we are rotating it individually. So rotate green. Now let's repeat the same process now with the other colors. Gonna do the same. And now merge it like that. All right. So I stacked up the car traffic lights off screen because it was exactly the same process as the pedestrians. So essentially what I did is just I took our pedestrian stack, right? With all that rotations, the initial impale operation, right, with much size, and then also all the rotation. So I took this and then I duplicated, right, and I simply replaced here the pedestrian traffic light for the car traffic light, like that. I replaced all the object merges, right? So I ended up with this stack, so it's exactly the same. And then I did also the rotations. The only difference being I removed this rotate pivot operation that we did because it was no longer needed, since these traffic lights, the car traffic lights, will not be moved to the side arm. They will be on our main pole. So there's no reason to move them about. You can see, like, they will be attached eventually to our main pole here, so they could stay on the center of our grid. Okay, and that's why I deleted it. And also remember, like in here with the rotations, we added the centroid operation, and I simply deleted it from my rotates. I kept it like by default at 0. Right, so then this is my car traffic stacks like that. So what I'm gonna do is to put them on top of the main pole now. So let's put everything together now. Let's assemble all the pieces. So we're getting closer to the end little by little. So object merge. Let's grab our main pole. Then we need a sidearm. Our stack. Pedestrians. Okay. We merge that. Okay. We have it here. Okay. Now let's add our car traffic lights on top of the main pole. So how can we do that? We can go to this place here. We can simply use this piece over here. Right, we can use this, add our cap onto it, and then stack it on top of our main pole. Just gonna merge like that. I'm gonna repeat a little bit the process. color it. Color this piece. Put a normal on it. Like that, and then we can call it upper pole. Give it a bit more space here. Okay, so we have our upper pole. Let's stack it on top of our main one. So we just want to do the minimum to the maximum. Like that. Then let's bring our car traffic light. I think this is the one. Our car stack. All right. So then let's use it. So we don't need to do any translations in X or Z. So keep it to none. And we just do minimum to minimum. Like that. We'll have this now. And let's merge it now with our main pole. Is there. Okay. And now we also have this side arm, right? Let's do it like this then. Left side. Merge it here. Okay, so it's all together. Now they are clipping into each other, so we can reverse this. Put a mirror. And only keep the original. Let's have a look. So we have basically, like on the left side, we have the main one, like in here, right, for the cars. And on the right, we have for the pedestrians with a sidearm. Okay, now let's see. Let's do a quick test. Go to the main pole. Let's say if we were to change the length of it, everything working together. Okay, awesome. Then quick rotation test. Say go to the pedestrians. Do the rotate 90 degrees. Okay, nice. Okay. Framing. So in case you also wanted to make this kind of curved pole, I'll show you very quickly how to do that. I'm gonna demonstrate the whole thing because it's exactly the same principle as our main pole. It's the same approach. Okay. So we can just reuse some of our stuff here. For the curve. So let's say this is our main pole here. Okay, we can say let's make it longer because we're gonna bend it. Okay. You can say let's say 7. And let's increase our points. Okay, and here we can use bend. Okay. Then let's say we want up vector on 1. Okay. Capture. I'm just gonna hit enter here to see the handle. So then capture region, say somewhere like around 3, and then in here, well, sorry, what I meant is capture a region around 3, and then direction, let's set it to Y, like so. Okay, and then now when we bend our angle in here, okay, let's say with the capture length, we can say how much it bends, right? Like that. So yeah, if you want to do it like this way as well, feel free. You can also drop sweep after to generate this tube. Maybe you utilize as well this ramp. So you can make it. Let's see. We can make it like thinner on the top than it's at the bottom. And then you can use the same approach with slide along curve, right? To slide our point along our existing curve. And then you can have 2 points as well, controlling like 1 point that controls the traffic light at the bottom, and the other one, let's say like with 1 point, you can control how much it slides up and down here on at the bottom, and the other one will be here sliding on the top. Okay. But yeah, it's a similar approach, really. Okay. Let's build a quick test scene as well to help us visualize a little bit our measurements of our traffic light. So I use template body. This way I can move him in space. Like that. Put him here for now. Okay, let's build our road as well with the grid. Say this is gonna be actually our zebra crossing. Then we make another grid for the road. Something a bit longer like that. And I'm just gonna color it something dark. I'll do. Okay. Multiply by half, so it just starts like here, at the center. See, merge. Merge these two guys together. Zebra, let's lift it up a little bit. Mm. Should be fine like that. Okay, I'm just gonna do several copies. Just a quick pedestrian crossing. All right. Maybe let's drop a car as well, very quick. Just a box. Let's make it like I don't know, just a kind of like a Tesla cyber truck, right? square shapes. So let's make this 0.8. Okay. And round. Like imagine this is our incoming car in here. Coming. Now, right, so it's car. And here we have our pedestrian ready to cross. So let's say he was on this side. Ready to cross. Then we will take like our car pedestrian lights and turn them right 90 degrees so a pedestrian could see it. So let's find it. Pedestrian lights, rotation. And here we have to put 90. Turn it like that. Okay. So, all right. So these ones will be facing the car and this one will be facing the pedestrian. All right.